When you guys are not forcing turnovers necessarily, what does your defense do to unsettle offenses?
Um, they just try to defense just try to speed them up. I mean, it's either some teams like to walk the ball up the court, or they want to just play at a slow pace. So if our pressure could speed them up a little bit, it could really take them out of their offense. And that's just if we're not forcing turnovers, then we're speeding the offensive up, and they're not used to doing that. So we're just trying to pressure as much as we can to speed up the offensive team.
Can you just talk a little bit about what it's like to kind of sort of be the Cinderella of March, what the run was like last year, and kind of how has that changed the program there at VCU?
It was a great run we had last year. We're trying to start that run this year, but it's great for the community, great for VCU, and really great for us. Touching back to the motivation standpoint, it was just a lot of people are doubting us, and we're very motivated, and it helps us win in games. Late in games, and we know a lot of people are against us, so we just want to use that as motivation, and we want to start this run this year, so we're looking forward to it. So
really, the only similarity is just the name on the jersey. We lost a group of guys from last year's team who did great things, but this year we have a new nucleus of guys who are stepping up and doing great things for this team. Our defense is one of the best, and we've done a great job of getting teams out of what they do, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Why do you feel you guys are so much better defensively this year than you were last year?
I'd say our focus. Coach does a great job of keeping us focused on stopping teams and getting them out of what they do. Last year, we had so many offensive weapons. We didn't focus as much as we needed to on the defensive end, and we tried to almost outscore teams sometimes. And that hurt us last year. But this year, we've done a great job for the majority of the season. Getting teams out of what they do and forcing our havoc style of defense on them.
I've just always liked the press, even going back to when I played in high school and in college. I was fortunate to work for quite a few coaches that had a lot of know-how about pressing. Sometimes it comes down to who your influences are, and I worked for 3 coaches specifically that I think are terrific pressing coaches. Keith Dambrod at University of Akron, Oliver Purnell I worked for at Dayton and at Clemson, and those Clemson teams to me were as good at pressing teams as any in the country. And then I worked for Billy Donovan at Florida as well, who everybody knows is a great pressing coach.
Seem to have no self-doubt. They seem to never think that they're going to lose. And you talk about playing aggressive, confident, and loose. How do you instill that in them? Is it something that starts in the recruiting process when you see it in players, or do you develop it once they get there?
We talk about it a lot. And, basketball is a game that these guys have been playing for a long time. They've made winning plays for years and years and years, but now they find themselves on this grand scale of being in the NCAA tournament. But that shouldn't change anything. Nothing should change in terms of what they want to do. And I know we're playing the Hoosiers, but I'll reference the movie Hoosiers that they talked about in that movie. The baskets are still 10 feet. The court's still the same length. Nothing has changed. So I think for our guys, we just, as coaches, we try to instill a lot of confidence in them, let them know that they can go play their game. Our number one rule on the court is to play hard. And if guys follow that rule, which I think our guys do a pretty good job of doing, then I'm all about, allowing them to let their hair down offensively and go attack. Yeah, I'll tell you what, just watching him on tape, he's as good as any big kid that we've played in the 3 years I've been at VCU. And the scary thing is he's only a freshman. So, his future is extremely bright, and he's going to do terrific things at Indiana and beyond. You talked about him running the floor. We definitely can't give him easy baskets in transition. I would guess that one of the things that they'll try to do is get the ball in quickly after makes, or certainly on misses, get the ball outletted quickly, and then look for Zeller running to the rim. If you can get the ball in extremely quickly before the press is set up, then that's one way to beat pressure defensive teams. So for us, that's going to be a big point of emphasis. We have to get in the press quickly and make sure we get back and take away layups from him.
Just what about their pressure makes them so effective at what they do? A lot of teams obviously maybe try to press, but VCU seems to be able to do it better than anybody. What have you seen kind of out of their pressure that makes it so effective?
Well, it's their length, and you grew up in Louisville, so you know what that length has been like with what Rick has done with those presses at Louisville, because it's the intensity of it. It's that there's a toughness to it, but it's really, really hard to play against that kind of length. And they have tremendous length, and I think they do an excellent job of pushing you in a spot. Their traps are really hard-nosed. I mean, they close their traps. They're constantly coming at you if you get it advanced with the back-tipping procedures. So you've got to do a great job of catching the ball where you want to catch it. If you catch it where they want you to catch it, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be in the deep corner. There's going to be two defenders that are live, and there's going to be a baseline and a sideline line that now turn into four people. And we've watched so much film where people have been in that situation, and there's no way to capitalize on that. So where you catch it, what you do on the next pass, those are the most important things. You know, your fundamentals really come into play, getting the ball out in front, reversing the basketball, head up, all those types of things. But if you asked one question, I think it's their length. Or one reason, I think it's their length.